Michel Barnier has convinced major EU leaders to surrender its red line on the role of the European Court of Justice (ECJ) after Brexit in a huge breakthrough in the negotiations with the UK. Michel Barnier has persuaded European Union member states to surrender on one of Brussels' major red lines in the Brexit trade talks. In a shock breakthrough, sources in Brussels told RTE's Tony Connolly that EU member states are preparing themselves for a compromise on ECJ. This would mark a significant victory for the UK and Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who has refused to back down on Britain's own red lines over fisheries and state aid. A source familiar with the negotiations told Connolly this week, "Mentally the member states are ready for a compromise on the ECJ." Speaking on RTE's Brexit Republic podcast, Connolly said, "Barnier has said publicly and privately that he understands the UK's red lines. Boris Johnson spelled them out in the high-level conference, no role for the ECJ in the UK, and things have to feel and look different in the realm of fisheries. You can't just replicate the common fisheries policy and the status quo, and Barnier has said he understands that." He added, "That is the first time Barnier has said that he sees and understands the red lines of the UK. If you speak to officials here in Brussels, he has said this privately to member states, and the impression here is that this is dawning on Brussels. Member states are mentally preparing themselves for a compromise on the ECJ. They know it is not going to fly politically for Boris Johnson to have the overt role of the ECJ and the UK in this future relationship. So, the EU accepts it would be impossible politically for the UK to sign up to the oversight or tyranny of the ECJ somehow involved in UK law and subjecting the UK to its remit." Another source said to Connolly, "He was signalling clearly that we get the red lines from the UK on things like the ECJ. We get it. That was seen as quite a big move from the EU, to put that clearly out there. This comes as the government plans to launch a multi-million-pound Get Ready for Brexit campaign on Monday, as businesses awaited details of the customs regime they will face.